Welcome, everyone. We'll be getting started shortly. Just waiting for people to pop on. Thanks for coming to today's meeting. We'll be starting shortly. Welcome, Dan, Carla, Lindsay, Mindy, Tara, and Alaric. So glad you can join us. Welcome, Lane, from the great state of Wisconsin. So glad you could join us. And welcome, Tara. We'll be starting shortly. Welcome, Alicia. So glad you could join us as well. And Meredith. And Jody, welcome. And Jessica, welcome. Taylor, so glad you could join us. Welcome, Beth, fellow Beth, wonderful. And welcome, Jenny and Mary from MHEC. So glad you're here.
Hi, Beth.
Hello. We'll be starting in just a minute. Welcome, Kathleen. So glad you could join us as well. And Mallory and Lauren, thank you. All right, we are going to get started. Thank you for coming to today's Concurrent Enrollment Instructor Qualification Changes Advisory Group. We're so glad you would join us on this beautiful summer day, or I hope at least it's beautiful for you. We're so glad to have you. Just gonna start with today's agenda and welcome you. Just a reminder of the purpose of our advisory committee as we meet. Our committee is going to delve into the new HLC expectations well, they're maybe not so new anymore, they're 6 months old. Expectations for instructor qualifications for dual and concurrent enrollment instructors. And our goal as far as this committee is to foster a collaborative discussion and share valuable insights with regional stakeholders with the hope of contributing to the development of recommended practices for monitoring instructor qualifications in line with HLC's expectations. At our last meeting we hosted HLC representatives Eric Martin and Zach Weimer, and they shared the HLC's expectations. And today's agenda is the following. We're going to just do a welcome and some introductions just to get a sense of who is here today and where you're from. Then we're going to share state, system, and institutional updates. And if you have any artifacts, such as policies, handbooks, changes or wording or forms that you would like to share as best practices, we would love to see what you're working on. And that's what the lion's share of today is going to be devoted to, is really sharing those artifacts. And then next steps. Just a little housekeeping note, today's meeting is going to be recorded and posted on the MHEC website, just so you're aware of that and not surprised by that. I did want to share a little infomercial with you. MHEC is hosting a 5-part webinar series that I want you to all know you are invited to, where we are talking about state policy that can serve and improve dual and concurrent enrollment. The webinar series is called How State Systems Can Support Practitioner Efforts to Strengthen Dual Enrollment. It's a 5-part series. It starts at the end of June. I want you all to know that you are welcome. I'm going to put the registration link in the chat. And I just want to encourage you all to join us for this 5-part series. The first webinar will be June 27th, 1 p.m. Central Time. And it's going to share how states can support and systems can support dual and concurrent enrollment practitioner efforts. And it's going to share insights from the states of Minnesota and Wisconsin. It's going to feature the Community College Research Center and College and High School Alliance representatives, as well as Crystal Ego Agabana from the Minnesota State Colleges and Universities, and our own Ann Westrick from the Wisconsin Technical College System, along with Katie Groff and Samantha Duzick from Gateway Technical College. So please join us for that first one on June 27th, that first webinar. I think you'll get a lot out of it and just learn from some exemplar states. Later on in July, we're going to share about Ohio's innovative model for dual and concurrent enrollment, and we'll be joined by CCRC, as well as Becky Stewart from the Ohio Department of Higher Ed. And then later on in July 23rd, Jennifer Zint, who's a fantastic researcher in the area of dual and concurrent enrollment, will be hosting a webinar on Indiana's curriculum or dual and concurrent enrollment activities, where they're really building dual and concurrent enrollment pathways and really ensuring that transfer of credit. That'll be fascinating. July 31st, we'll have another webinar hosting NACEP, the National Alliance for Concurrent Enrollment Partnerships, and sharing about the benefits of NACEP accreditation, state accreditation, and how that can support your concurrent enrollment initiatives. And then our last webinar will be August 20th, and we're going to talk about supporting completion and equity in dual and concurrent enrollment. Our friend Brandon Protas from Complete College America will be joining us, along with Josiah Litton, the Executive Director of Minnesota P20 Education Partnerships. So this is a great series, and I just want you all to know you are invited, and I hope that link is working for you. So do come. All right, end of infomercial. Next, just wanted to ask if you could, in the chat, introduce yourself. Could you please share your name, what state you are from, and either the agency you represent or the institution you represent. And then we're just going to look at that really quick before we open it up for sharing time. So if you please do that really quick, we would love that.
While you guys are doing that, thank you all for being here.
Yay!
The Beth is the brains behind the operation here. I wanted to say you're welcome. And many of you have worked with me in the past too. And as you know, we're trying to collect some organized information about the concurrent and dual enrollment ecosystem in the Midwest so that we can share that with everyone. And with HLC, they would love to hear about it. So with NACEP, there are a lot of people who are interested. So if you're able to share with us some of the information we want to talk about today, we really do want to know how different states or systems are dealing with teacher qualifications and teacher supply, all the above, because it's just such a big issue, and it really speaks to the quality and the equity with which we can offer dual and concurrent enrollment opportunities. So thank you all for being here.
So agreed. I just want to here are some of the people who spoke in the chat. Katie Groff, one of our presenters, here from Gateway Technical College in Wisconsin. We have Riley Dermott from Northeast Wisconsin Technical College, Aspen finalist, I hear. Welcome. Cindy Schaefer from Dean of Early College and Rock Valley College in Rockford, Illinois. Amy Washam, director in Missouri from Northwest Missouri State University, also an MSEP partner. Les Mackey from Fort Hays State University in Kansas. Welcome. Vicki Bott from UW Milwaukee. Jessica Garma from Overland Park in Kansas. Johnson Community College. Welcome. Also Meredith Sauer, VP of Instruction at Lakeshore Technical College in Wisconsin. Great to have you. Mindy Naistep from Michigan, Northern Michigan University. Beth Conra from Columbus, Ohio, Director of Teaching and Learning at Columbus State Community College. Tara Lindahl from Kansas State University in Kansas. Jamie Schneider, University of Wisconsin, River Falls. Jessica Espinoza, Minnesota State. And now one of her individuals will be on that first webinar as well, Crystal. Lauren Jones from Columbus State College. Nathan Holte, Dean of General Studies in ALO at Moraine Park Technical College in Wisconsin. Nathan Anderson, North Dakota, Minot State University. Elza from Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville, Illinois. Welcome. Beth Collier from St. Louis University. And then Ann Westrick, another one of our presenters. So glad you can join us from the Wisconsin Technical College System. Jody McDermott from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. So glad you're here. Nathan Taylor Hooker, Director of Outreach and High School Partnerships at WICU. Glad you are joining us. And then Melissa Johnson from the University of Kansas. And Alaric, and I'm sorry if I'm not nailing your name quite right, Williams, VP of Academic Affairs at Minot State University. And Cecilia from Education Strategy Group in California. And Micah Kennedy in Illinois, President of ILLISEP. Dan McDonald, Director of Partnerships at Wabaunosi Community College in Illinois. Lindsay from Rock Valley College. Tanya Gonzalez from Kansas State University. Kathleen Fimple from Nebraska's Coordinating Commission of Post-Secondary. Kristen Long from the Wisconsin Technical College System. Elisa Crow from Northwood Technical College. And Colleen McCabe from the Wisconsin Technical College System as well. Thank you all, WTCS people. Mallory Mitchell, Johnson Community College. And Emily Ruska from Ed Systems, Northern Illinois University. And lots of NASA people here. So glad you're joining us. Crystal Igu Ogabanawa. Crystal, I'm so sorry if I'm not nailing your name here. Also one of our presenters in the first webinar. She's part of the Minnesota State Colleges and University System. So glad you're here. And Jill Stewart Keller, welcome. Olivia Sanchez from Illinois. And Jill is from one of the high schools in Illinois, or in Minnesota. So glad you could join us, Assistant Director of Career and Technical College Education in the Twin Cities. And then Kim Mayer, Southwest Technical College Aspen finalist. Woo woo! Congratulations, that's in Wisconsin. Thank you all for coming. We wanted to get a sense of what states were here today, and we wanted to do a quick roll call. Thank you. We're so glad to have robust representation from so many states today. And so glad you could log in and share that. So I'm going to take down this slide for the rest. On this slide now, and just ask for this rest of the time. I want to open this up for you and want to hear what is going on in your state or system. And do you have things that you could share with us as a group? Because together we are stronger, and together we can learn from one another. And we want to take this time. And if you have links or PDFs or things like that, we'd love you to share those things in the chat. What we'd like to do after this meeting is create a repository where we would have those links, where we would have those samples of work that we could share. It might be like we changed this passage in our manual, or we changed this form. Anything like that we would be very interested in, and I think it would be very helpful to others. I don't know if there'd be someone who would be willing to start us off. And if you are, just put yourself on camera and start talking.
I'm going to call on someone. My good friend Kathleen Fimple at the Nebraska Coordinating Commission for Higher Education. Hi, Kathleen. I just heard, because I was at a meeting earlier this week with your boss, Mike Baumgartner, and he shared with me that there's some new stuff that happened this year legislatively related to concurrent enrollment, but we didn't get a chance to learn much about it. Is that something you could give us a brief update on? And tell us if and how it might relate to teacher credentialing?
Well, the one thing that, not reading his mind, I'm not sure what all he was talking about. He keeps track of the legislature, but I think probably he's talking about a grant that was approved for career and technical and dual credit education. It's kind of a messy title. It's designed to help teachers who want to become able to teach dual credit courses, or they submit an app. Well, that's from our side of it. It also includes career and technical education as well, but we're anticipating the majority of the applicants will come from teachers who want to teach dual credit. They have to have a plan. They submit a plan. It will cover up to 18 credit hours.
Wow.
But if they've already taken whatever, then they put down, hey, I've got 6 credit hours. I'm working toward my 18 in whatever discipline, and this is where I want to do it, and the courses I want to take. Applications close June 15th, I think.
Okay.
So very soon. We have applications in already, and they actually, sort of a technicality, but they can't actually be working on a master's because there is another funding mechanism for teachers who are working on their master's.
Okay.
So it's strictly geared to people who need to have additional courses for career or technical ed or for dual credit.
Thank you so much, Kathleen. Jordan Priddle had put the link in the chat for what you were referencing.
Thank you.
And this is for the great state of Nebraska, for those of you who may not know where Kathleen resides. Yeah, so that is very helpful. Thank you for sharing that.
Certainly.
Yeah, if you've got other documents like that or a reference to the legislation, anything like that is going to be helpful for us as we collect information. We really want a nice panoramic view of what's available. Kathleen, I do have a question. So it sounds like you've got 2 pools of funding, one for folks seeking the master's degree. And is that specifically for a master's degree to get them to the point where they can teach concurrent enrollment, in which case it would be content specific? Or is it just a master's degree in teaching in general?
I believe it is just for teaching in general. Our legislature also decided last session that there are 2 programs. One of them is the one with the for the masters, and another is for undergrads. But they've been administered by our Department of Education.
Okay.
And last year they said, oh, we think you should do it.
So there's been a changeover for you.
Yes.
Okay.
Us with our 9 staff members total now have acquired 5 new grants. New to us. There are 2 that are actually brand new. One is the one we were talking about. So
okay.
The master's degree, I'm fairly certain, is it's for anybody working on a master's in education.
Okay, got it. Got it. Kind of that traditional teacher path versus this specific. Okay, thanks.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Jamie, it looks like you're going to jump in.
I'll go ahead and ask a question. Kathleen, if you don't mind, so our state grant program only refunds teachers for credits they already took, which I wouldn't call that a grant program. I would call that a reimbursement process. Is this one, the way you have it set up, I'm curious, is this a model where it's actually going to fund future credits, or is this teachers have to pay for it and then hope they get reimbursed?
Good question. And I don't remember the answer to it. We hired somebody. She's right next door to me. I should ask her. Excuse me. I'll have to think about it, but I will check.
Jamie, what state are you from?
Jamie, I'm from Wisconsin.
Okay, Wisconsin. All right, yes. Would you like to well, let me go back and finish a couple of questions for Kathleen, and then I have some questions for you. So Kathleen, do we know how much money we're talking about is available?
It's not very much. It seems like it was 250,000.
Okay.
And there's a cap, well, there's a cap per person. I know it's 18 credit hours, so it's probably, gee, Jenny, I didn't know there was going to be a quiz.
Oh, but that's okay. No.
No, it generally, our grant programs have been capped at the tuition at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
Okay, so
But
that was my
that might be the case here.
sure. And the other question is it only for if you take courses at University of Nebraska system universities? Can you take courses elsewhere?
Take courses elsewhere. In fact, that's the hope. I mean, that if people need to, they can put together the courses that they need to get their 18 credit hours. So they can get them online, they can get them in person, wherever they can put them together.
So before I get to you, Jamie, I'm going to ask my colleague Jerry Murphy to step in briefly. For those of you who are unaware, we have a tool to help such teachers find online courses, Kathleen. And I know I've talked to you about it in the past. I'm going to mention that to everyone here. We'll give Jerry maybe 3 minutes because I know there are a lot of things that people want to share, but you want to give us the 3-minute
Sure.
show and tell, Jerry?
I'll see if I can beat the 3-minute mark. The Graduate Credit Quest, and it's graduatecreditquest.org is the website. Is basically a database of graduate level coursework in dozens of fields of study that are offered by universities or graduate school programs really throughout the MHEC regional footprint. So member state universities are the source point for the listings of courses that are on the site. This is a no-cost additional, essentially, marketing channel for graduate schools to reach out to potential graduate students, teachers who are pursuing a faculty standard credential to teach dual credit.
Yeah.
The course is actually, the website is about to be relaunched with a new version with several enhancements that were really basically designed to respond to a lot of input that we've had from current users. I think there are somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 teachers that are registered today that have access to the platform to search for various courses. It's a very interesting website to watch in terms of analytics because the universities populate their new course offerings 2-3 times a year, and teachers kind of follow that same timeline by a delay of maybe a month or so when they're out shopping for courses that they intend to take the next semester or the next 2 semesters. The new version will enable teachers to communicate with advisors on campuses, coordinators, dual credit coordinators or campus advisors for dual credit teachers who are looking to meet faculty standards. And they'll be able to do that in a really much more streamlined fashion than what the original version had offered. So there are a number of enhancements. It's going to look very familiar to legacy users. I'd certainly encourage anybody who has any interest in helping teachers locate courses that would be appropriate for the receiving the credit granting institution and their standards. And I would also encourage any of the universities that are on board here today, if you're not signed on, please do so. It does not cost a nickel. It costs time because you are responsible for maintaining your own database. But it's just a really slick way for us to target and focus on a very small but very special population of dual credit teachers, both those who are currently trying to meet their credentialing requirements and those who aspire to teach dual credit.
Yep. Thanks,
How's that?
Jerry. That's perfect. Yes. And I'll just say it's no cost to anybody involved. And even though Jerry was saying you maintain your own data, we've made it really simple. And Jerry is available for conversation, support, hand-holding, you know, anything you need to get those courses on there. But take a look. We've got a wide variety there. The bulk of them, I would say, about half are specifically designed for teachers doing this kind of work. The other ones are at least ones that the universities submitting the courses have designated as appropriate, even if they weren't specifically designed for these for this population. They're appropriate for this population. So that's an opportunity. Thank you, Kathleen. And I'm hoping maybe some of the teachers in Nebraska can do that. So now, Jamie, I'd love to hear more about what the opportunities are in Wisconsin. I know historically we've had some, but I am not familiar with what's might have happened in the most recent legislative session or what might be remaining from the last few years.
Well, it's still last I heard, it's still the remaining amount that they decided to continue because they were finding it wasn't being used, which is a little frustrating. And part of the reason from working with teachers, part of the reason it isn't used is it's a reimbursement setup.
Right.
So you can apply for, they open it for a narrow window of about 3 weeks sometimes. Last year, that's about all it was open.
Wow.
And when it opens, if you don't catch it, you miss it, and it will reimburse you for credits that were taken the prior summer. So you had to know when you took the credits, you had to gamble that you would have to pay for them or potentially ask for reimbursement, which I would see why it's not being used. So please don't use that model for all of you.
No, this is great information. I mean, I think it's great to look at that, you know, best of intentions, and yet, you know, some of the minutia of enactment can sometimes undermine that.
Well,
who administers that grant? Do you know?
It'll take me a minute to look it up. I can look it up, but the one thing I will say is because it hasn't been used, the word I heard was that the legislation thought it wasn't a need. Which of course
No.
is not the message we want.
Okay.
Because of that. So I do know that today we had a task force that formed in the UW system to talk about concurrent enrollment, and our report is at the Board of Regents today.
Okay.
So we're hoping that some of those conversations will perhaps start bubbling up and maybe have a little bit more conversations. So
yes, thank you. Well, Vicki has provided some of the information, has said that it's administered by HEAB, which is the Higher Education Aid Board in Wisconsin, and she's provided that link. Thank you, Vicki. That's awesome. And I think you're right. If the Board of Regents understands the dynamics of this process, hopefully they can bubble that up to their state relations, legislative relations folks. But is there anyone from the technical college system who can talk to us about what you're observing in this same space too? Are you seeing some problems? I had heard that the funds didn't get used in Wisconsin, and I'm interested in that. It's not the only state where that's been the case, and I've read some research on that recently. Anyone from the technical college system want to chat with us? I can call on Colleen.
Yeah.
Colleen McCabe, are you there?
I am. I just had to find my button.
Oh yeah, or Ann Westrich, or both of you. You can both jump in and help us understand this from the perspective of the technical college system.
Well, and I think the funds that were noted or talked about, you know, they're funds that are provided by DWD but administered through DPI. And yes, that whole idea of reimbursement is not it's just not appealing to educators.
Understandably, yeah.
Oh, very understandably. So there is a problem with that, just trying to move the needle on that. As you're aware of, Act 10 did not help our educators want to
Right,
do more for less, so to speak, and have that kind of
right,
only a potential promise of funding, which
right,
so that there were many things. It was a perfect storm that was bad for
right.
dual enrollment. But at the college level, I know there are several folks on from our institutions that probably have a better understanding of how they're dealing with it, or better
Sure.
input on that. But we did really work to get the flexibility. But now it's what to do with that and how to do it in a uniform manner so that we don't go back to some kind of shopping around craziness. And we try to give them a really solid structure, and Ann Westrick can speak to that if she would like to chime in. But
That'd be great.
Those are my 2 cents.
Thanks, Colleen.
Thanks, Colleen. Ann is here. So yes, I can comment just a little bit. And I agree. We did have some obstacles. The fronting the money first and then hoping to get the reimbursement was really part of the challenge. I think the other part of the challenge was just finding, and Colleen kind of alluded to this a little bit, but really finding the teachers that were dedicated to go and get what they needed, finding the time to do that. Even with all the money in the world, sometimes the time was a real barrier, because those are usually the teachers that are going to commit to it are the ones who are doing everything else. And so that was a struggle. But I will say, and I'm going to talk to Katie Graff as well. And I know we have somebody from NWTC on today as well. We do have quite a few colleges who did, not large numbers, but did utilize some of the dollars, so much so that even Blackhawk, and I'm not sure we have anyone on from Blackhawk today, Blackhawk went looking for more dollars, and the timing for the courses that they needed, it just didn't work with it. So I think there's still some interest there. And the other thing that I think we've done a nice job of is trying to communicate to our partners that it's not that there's not an interest. It's not that we don't want to expand dual enrollment in Wisconsin, but that we need to find a better way to utilize the dollars ahead of time, more like the grant or the scholarship type of situation. I know I've shared that with our legislative liaisons a couple of different times. Jenny, you and I have had that conversation on a variety of meetings. So we're trying to definitely do more of that, to let them know that the problem hasn't gone away. We just need to, and the interest is still there, but what can we do across all 16 colleges to share out that information and make it easier? So, but we still are maintaining huge numbers in dual enrollment. So we continue to do what we can,
right?
And to help our teachers who need some more credentialing to get that taken care of. So I would welcome, not to put Katie on the spot, and Katie, you can pass. But if you had any updates on, the utilization of the dollars, please share.
Yeah, I'll chime in. Thanks, Ann. So I'll say what I'm hearing, again, from Gateway Technical College, and what I'm hearing is we did have teachers utilize those funds, and so that is fantastic. But now it's kind of the scary part of the schools are really scared if that individual leaves. So for example, I have a teacher that went back, he had his master's degree in an unrelated field. He went back, he got 18 graduate credits in general anatomy and physiology. So they're really building up this pathway around nursing and getting students really excited about the healthcare. And it's just always hanging out there like, oh no, what if he leaves? And he's getting closer, maybe wanting to retire. And so I think it's that ebb and flows is, as long as they have him, we're okay. But the second he retires or leaves, then what are we going to do? And then we're going to need more money. And so it's just, that has been more of the conversations I would say that we've been having in our area is, thankfully a lot of our teachers have stayed, but are they going to retire in the next few years? Or what if they do leave? That's going to be an issue.
Well, and again, what I've heard in a lot of places, thank you for that, Katie, is not only do they leave because of retirement, sometimes they leave because another school district courts them.
Oh, yeah.
Or they leave because the local technical college can use them full-time there, you know, now that they have that credential too. And not that that's bad. None of those things are bad. It's just that it is a marketplace, you know, and that's what happens when there is more demand than there is supply. And so do you guys know, I have a couple of comments and questions. So one of the things that they did, and I know we have someone on the call from North Dakota, maybe 2 people, I think. I was trying to keep
Yep.
track is,
Couple from Minot State.
oh yeah. So in North Dakota, I recall when they made this type of funding available in the past, it was a voucher. And so the voucher paid the institution. Now it was limited to North Dakota universities. So that was one limitation that actually that was their challenge, but that voucher was a way to do it where you could award the voucher to the teacher. And if the teacher would give the voucher, and then the state would pay the institution directly. That's a mechanism that might be something to think about. I'm glad to hear, Colleen and Ann, that you guys have had these conversations with your legislative liaisons. So that was one thing I was going to ask. Do we know, in Wisconsin, do those credits have to be taken at a Wisconsin university? Jamie?
You know, I'd have to read through it. I don't think they do.
Vicky-
Yeah, Vicky said they don't either.
Yep.
My question, because we're right on the Minnesota border. And so when our teachers get master's level and higher credentials, Minnesota still rewards for higher degrees, and after Act 10,
Yes.
Wisconsin is hit or miss. So
Yep.
we've had several schools that have actually saved up money, paid teachers to get additional credentials, and then, you know, within a year or 2, they're gone. And so they're talking about potentially writing contracts. Has anybody else seen that? Because they're really nervous. They don't like that. It feels like indentured servitude. But on the other hand, if you just paid, you know, 10, 15, you know, whatever for a teacher, like you'd like them to stay for at least 3 to 5 years. So has anybody else seen contracts like that I could share with the schools?
I'd love to hear from others, but I just read a paper yesterday that came out of Ohio in 2021. They do still have active teacher unions and bargaining units in Ohio. And it was an analysis of their collective bargaining agreements, and a number of those had elements like that in them. So I will drop the link to that article at least. And but yeah, does anyone else want to say something? We've got a couple of things in the chat. Vicky Bott says it's only partial reimbursement. I think 1/3 reimbursement. Is that in Wisconsin, Vicky?
Yes, yep, I'm Wisconsinite.
And they only reimburse you for about 1/3 of the cost of the coursework?
Yes. And my understanding is that it's also not the individual teacher that seeks reimbursement, it's the district.
Interesting. So who fronts the money for the tuition?
I think that's a case-by-case basis.
Okay. Yeah. So I think you guys are right. It's kind of a messy system that doesn't have a defined secure outcome and has a lot of variation. A voucher system might work, but and if it can be applied to courses elsewhere, again, we're trying to connect everyone and create more of that transparency on the options available online, thanks to Jerry's tireless efforts. So let's see. Kathleen Fimple is also sharing Nebraska pays the institution at the beginning of each semester, no direct payment to the student. And that I assume that would be fine with everyone. It's just no one has to lay out the money themselves. Then another thing Anne rightfully mentioned was, and maybe Katie too, but it's time. You know, when you think about teachers, I know you were talking about teachers retiring, Katie, but a number of the studies I've looked at said sometimes the older teachers are like, I've only got a few years till retirement. I'm not going to do this. So actually what you find are early and mid-career teachers who are interested, And yes, they're the ones coaching forensics or the football team and doing everything else. They also have little kids, or they tend to. And it's just not a good lifetime to be spending your evenings and weekends and your entire summer doing graduate work. So one of the things that was in that article, Jamie and others, was that in some of those collective bargaining agreements, the teachers who were doing this coursework got release time so that they could do that coursework either during the school day, or they were paid somehow in addition for that time. And again, I thought those were some really important ways to think about this and to make it, we just can't dump everything on teachers. I mean, as a society, that tends to be our solution to many social problems, is like, meh, dump it on the teachers. So yeah, we've got to get beyond that.
I have an
Yes.
idea.
Yes.
I mean, at the same time, we have a teacher shortage just for, licensed K-12 teachers. We have a shortage for high school teachers with the appropriate graduate credentials, and we are closing college campuses and laying off faculty.
Mm.
So these two worlds need to meet, and I don't know, this we is much larger than me, but in other countries' education systems, right, they have created some possible pathways where students leave high school at the age 15 and they full-time are attending a community college or a university. So it just seems ripe for this kind of conversation. I'm wondering if anyone has heard talk of that.
So Jamie wants to add something. I'll pipe in very briefly. I think that is what we're headed toward, Vicky. I mean, I think we're going to that whole P20W way of understanding it, and where there were going to be all these different options, and the specific grade level, et cetera, is becoming less relevant. It's a lifelong learning thing that makes it a very different system. So Jamie, did I steal your comment?
Well, so the conversation that I just had today is around licensure. Minnesota has a really nice concurrent enrollment clause for licensure. Wisconsin does not. And so I, for instance, was going to teach a concurrent enrollment course this spring, except that they had to hire a teacher who was licensed to teach alongside the very expensive model. Or I had to do 100 hours of additional instruction, do a praxis test, pay for a licensure, and that would have given me a license, although it's not clear that it's a full license. So like, that's also, I've been a faculty member for 25 years. And like Vicky said, we have a huge number of faculty level status people out there that actually in Wisconsin that could be looking for work right now because of the community colleges getting closed, but we don't have the licensure fix. We have these quote unquote quick to license processes, but when they tell you it's going to cost you $5,000 for a quick to license process to do 100 hours of training, I don't consider that a quick to license process.
No, and I don't feel it's an equitable one. It doesn't.
So
That's
I'll just
interesting.
leave that as we need to, I don't know what Minnesota has, but and other states have, but I would love to get a little bit more proactive about that side of things.
Yeah.
So Jamie, I know we have Crystal from Minnesota State Colleges and Universities on. Crystal, I don't know if you'd be willing to pop on screen and maybe share a little bit about how the Minnesota model works. And maybe she had to step off.
Is
can you hear me
Jessica
okay?
Espinoza on the call?
Yeah.
Can you hear me
There's
okay?
Crystal. Hi, Crystal.
Yes.
Hi, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jamie, I'm not sure. I'm actually chatting with Jessica on the side here. And I'm kind of curious about the clause because we don't have, I'm curious if you're talking about something that's specific to Wisconsin.
Oh, maybe I misread it then. So maybe you don't. I thought there was a concurrent enrollment like there was something where if faculty are teaching a concurrent enrollment course in the high school that they could be, that there was
College faculty?
coverage. What was that?
college faculty?
College faculty, but maybe there isn't.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm misinterpreting options for
Oh, no, that's
licensure.
okay. That's okay. I don't know if Jessica has any more context on that, but that's not something I'm familiar with.
Can you just say a little bit more, Jamie? I'm sorry, a clause that said what?
Well, again, maybe I totally misread it, but so what I've been trying to figure out is what are pathways for college faculty to be able to teach in a high school for concurrent enrollment. So I'll just kind of leave it at that. And I've been trying to
Oh.
find different language around that because we obviously we don't come with our own licensure,
Oh, I see what you're
right?
saying.
And
Yeah.
so if I want to do college in the classroom as
Oh,
a college
yeah.
faculty member at the actual
Sure.
school, there's licensure issues.
Yeah.
Yes, there are. Yeah, there are licensure issues here too. But I mean, we do have Minnesota in recent years adopted a tiered licensing system, which would have some lower level tiers that would make it pretty easy for a college faculty member to teach at a high school. But there's some limitations to those lower tiered licenses in terms of like I think they only last a certain amount of time, or there's some restrictions about those lower level licenses that are not the same as the higher regular tiered licensure. So that's maybe what you're thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, that's something probably we should also collect information from among our states on things like that to see what those options are. I know that Colleen McCabe has put a link, some sort of link relative to Minnesota in the chat, and we can maybe take a look at that. And then Carol Voss has her hand raised. Carol.
Yeah, hi, I'm actually an associate dean in manufacturing, construction, and transportation pathway at MATC. So we're in a different situation where we're not talking about English or math or some of the other classes, right? So in our area, we frequently have faculty who are teaching in high schools because they're essentially considered a site location for us.
Sure.
So we have our high school relations have a site location contract and things like that. And essentially we give them the credits that they are provided. And we're doing all the instruction with faculty. And part of that is because of faculty load, like we want to keep our faculty busy enough, right, according to the contract load. But then secondly, what we found, at least in our area, is that we have higher than average credentialing requirements for faculty. So for example, in our welding, in order to have welding faculty at MATC, and this is all controlled by faculty. So faculty determine what over and above, right? So we have American Welding Society requirement for certified welding instructor, which is a very difficult test. And it's expensive and frequently people fail. So, and we have a certain number of years of required experience in the field, on the job.
Right.
And so if they're a regular teacher for like a K-12 environment, high school teacher, likely they may not have industry experience that meets that requirement, in addition to, the extra credentialing that costs, or a level of education like a journeyman status, right? Or a level of education that is having the industry certificate, which is, I want to say it's like $2,400 to take this test.
Wow.
And it's a high fail rate.
Right.
So it's not like a normal thing. So for what it's worth, we just find it much easier to be doing it that way. But we also, we have some transcripted credit availability at this point with different other topical areas, meeting the credentialing requirement across the college in different spaces. So we're running currently like dual enrollment classes in high schools all the time, as well as developing with the high schools dual enrollment academy approaches, multi-year dual enrollment academy, so that they get a credential at the end.
Nice.
So for what that's worth, I mean, that's my experience, but like I said, it's very CTE, it's very hands-on, and it's because the labs and the instruction are not provided at the high school typically.
Sure.
or prioritize with the technology and the infrastructure and equipment that's required to stay on top. And we also, of course, encourage high school students to take our classes on campus, but
Right.
you know, that's a whole different animal. So if that's helpful to the discussion, I just wanted to share that.
Well, I think it is, because I mean, there are multiple models, right? There's in the classroom, at the college, there's remote, there are so many ways that these things work, and we need all of them, right, to serve our students. And that is very helpful, because we don't often include the whole CTE world in enough of our conversations, and we need to. Well, I am really sorry. We were just cranking up the conversation and getting everyone on board, and our time has passed. A lot of people have already had to log off. I totally understand that. Well, I think this might be something we want to do again, because it's a great way to share information, and just let people ask each other questions and kind of say, well, what do you do in Nebraska? And well, how does that work in Wisconsin? I would say that's a very MEC way of doing things. We find it's very helpful. So thank you all for being here. Shoot us a text or a message and let us know of other things that you think of that you want to share. We'll pull it all together, and we'll come back and we'll keep trying to crack this nut, because a bunch of great things came up today. So thank you all. Boy, people are just putting all kinds of great stuff in the chat. So hi, Jill.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Jenny, I just want to say thank you. I do think we all sit in the spaces that we are, and this model is awesome, because we know that things are happening and we just don't know how to get into the network with people that are experiencing the same struggles.
Exactly. Well, that's what we're trying to do. I thank you for telling us that. Should we tell them what we're doing in January, Beth? Should we let them know? Or
You can do the drum roll. Go ahead.
well, it's your brainchild, but yeah, we're planning a big summit in January. Not the best time to travel in the Midwest, but the cheapest time to travel in the Midwest. We're going to be doing a big meeting in Chicago, and this is the point, is to bring everyone together, aside from these conversations, to really work on this stuff and learn from each other. So we're going to keep doing this work and digging deeper in it. So awesome. Well, we'll do this again soon.
Thank you for coming, and we hope we can see you at the webinar at the end of the month. We'd love to have you. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.